Hey guys, welcome back to BachMakers, your favorite show that recaps all things Bachelor Nation. Before we continue with this episode, we're going to ask you very nicely, Michael, please deliver the news.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And share.
In that order, or reverse the order. It doesn't matter to us. Just do those things. Helps us. Enjoy this episode. We'll see you in the episode. Just keep watching. All right. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BachMakers, presented by Good Time Media. I'm Wyatt. That's Michael. We are recapping week 4 of the Golden Bachelorette. Michael, you've deemed this the Red Wedding. We said goodbye to some good soldiers today. Overall, a 90-minute episode, I think because of the premiere of Abbott Elementary, but 90 minutes, perfect for the show.
Oh,
perfect.
1,000%. Every episode should be 90 minutes.
Yep.
It was great. They still got two one-on-ones, which were like good length, nothing too long, nothing too short. Got a good convo, and then a fabulous group date. A fun one, I would say. Perfect length of show. And yeah, Red Wedding, we said goodbye to, honestly, a lot of the comedic relief to the sweethearts, and Charles and Gary and who else we said bye to?
Gil.
Dan and Gil, which they barely showed. They showed the goodbye, and then they did not show him talking to the producers.
Yep.
Probably for good reason.
Yep.
But yeah, Red Wedding episode for sure. Now it's shit is serious. The shit is serious now.
We at that point. Real. Shit just got real. 100%. We're down to the only heavy hitters left, at least in my eyes. All right, before we get into the episode, do quotes, do cringes, all that stuff. We do have to give an update. Fantasy football. Mike, 3-2. Not bad. Room for improvement, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're still. What are we points for though? We might be 3-2, but I think we're top 3 points for. That's off the dome. That probably not.
I'll tell you right now. Points for. We are 1, 2, third. Third and points
for, and 3-2. That means we just got we got unlucky. We got unlucky.
Yeah.
The team is good. Even our bench. A lot of guys on our bench starting a lot of other teams. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say.
I feel confident as long as we have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, no, we got 2 rookies. We got Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors. Rookie of the year candidates, probably those top 2.
Yep.
So
and it makes up for one of the worst draft picks we've ever made. Ramondre Stevenson.
Okay. See, you say that, but then he helped us win this week. So
again,
let's relax.
What came first? Him sucking or me giving him tough love to make him good?
I don't know.
What came first?
You giving him tough love.
And did it work?
Okay.
So again, you can get mad at me all you want for being mad at him for sucking, but if me being mad at him makes him suck less, I would be, in my eyes, a hero. I would never say that, but something to think about.
Just wait till the Vikes have one bad week and Jettis doesn't perform.
It's gonna come eventually. But you're gonna argue against Justin Jefferson, the greatest receiver in the league currently, arguably of all time? You gonna argue against that?
Okay, arguably of all time. Let's relax.
Sorry, he leads all receivers of all time in yards per game, so by a lot. But let's not go there. It's not a sports show. This is a love show.
Okay. Yeah, well, Wyatt's obviously in love with Justin Jefferson.
Yep. No denying that. But yeah, we're 3-2. We are chasing. We had a great win against Bracketology this week, so we can't overlook them. Good team. Dylan and Austin are 4-1. They're the teams to beat, as well as Maddie, one of our Patreon members.
Yeah.
4-1 as well. Great squad over there. We have a lot of respect for them.
Team.
We will beat them. That's the next step. We have to. We're kind of a tier below them right now. We got to be. I don't know who we have this week. I'll look at the schedule, but I feel like we'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm not really concerned at all. Out of my 3 fantasy football leagues, it is for sure my best team. the most optimistic team that I have left.
Yep.
Because CMC and Tyreek need to get healthy.
It is funny because I was thinking about this today. I was like, yeah, I'm really like invested in this BachMaker Fantasy League. I realized then, if we win, I'm just not losing money because I'm giving a cash prize to the winner. So I'm just not losing money.
I think it's the pride thing.
Oh, 100%.
It's
It's gonna
the
feel great to beat those guys. But then I'm like, I'm playing for simply pride.
see it. That's there's boy math and girl math. That's dad math.
Yeah.
That is like you do a fantasy league with your parent or like with your parents and all your siblings. That's dad math right there because it's coming out of
Yes.
dad's pockets.
Yeah, it's fair.
Um,
But that's something I just thought of earlier today. I was like, wait, maybe it is what it is. But I do want to get first. I want to beat those guys. Let's get in the episode. Golden
Yeah.
Geezer. Who do you have?
My golden geezer of the week. It was gonna be this one person, but then he got a rose, the very last chance, so it's not gonna be him, and it'll be Dan, because
Yeah.
obviously last week I can give Dan a golden geezer. His very last quote, which was one of my quotes of the week, but I'm gonna share it now just because
Go for it.
it just touched me. He said, "I live alone, and living with a group of brothers is pretty cool."
Yeah, I live alone, and to live with a group of brothers is pretty cool.
He was tearing up, and that honestly had me tearing up. Like I actually had to wipe away a tear. That was so sad, and like I don't know, if he's out there living alone, watch this podcast. BachMakers got you. We
got
love
you,
you. Sad to see you leave. But
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
well, that whole
Cool guy.
montage at the end of them just hugging each other was they love each other. They got boys for life, which again, arguably better. They're walking. Would you rather? Again, Mike, hypothetical. You're 60, you're 66. You're 66 years old, okay?
and have no friends or what?
Yeah, you have like 2 or 3 friends. Great pals.
Okay.
And you host a podcast, super successful.
Okay.
Anyways, you're 66, single, 3 friends, host a successful podcast. Would you rather go through door A and make 15 great guy friends, or go through door B and fall in love with Joan? You can only pick one.
If I'm 60, Joan's gonna be like
Okay.
100.
All right. Let's. Let's say this. This Joan in this hypothetical doesn't look a day over 98. Okay. In this hypothetical, which means in Joan years, she looks fantastic. That girl doesn't age. She's
100%.
beautiful. But anyways, which door are you taking?
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, it feels weird to take door A with a bunch of friends if the whole reason you made the friends is door B. So I would go the hypothetical third door and get the best of both worlds, where I end up with Joan and still have cool besties.
You circumvented an answer there, but I'll be straight up. In the straightest way possible, you have to take door A.
I just want to give you a shout out. Nice word with circumvented. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Honestly.
I
I don't think I've ever heard you say that word before.
I don't think I've ever used it. This was a trial run.
You need some props for that.
I kind of crushed that.
Yeah.
That felt good. It felt good. I didn't like stutter through it at all, so that felt good. Thank you for acknowledging that. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
You gotta take door A. Is it 15 best pals? You're gonna get an NCAA 25 Dynasty League going. Like that's not more important, but I think at that age, probably more useful.
I mean, they don't live by you though.
They could. You could get a place together, get a pad, get it like a little
bachelor pad,
a literal bachelor pad. I don't know. It's just I keep thinking about that during the show because these guys are just becoming best friends, and I honestly think that is becoming a reward for them. Like Charles L said, which I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll give my golden geezer to Charles L because this will be the last time we get to talk about him on the show. I'm not wearing my King Charles hoodie, and I apologize. It's somewhere in this room, and I don't feel like getting it. And it's super hot in the studio, so I'll put it up on the screen next to me while I talk about him. He said it at the end here. He said, "You know what? I won." He goes, "I found love on this show, and it's just happened to be with the boys. Sometimes love for the boys, it trumps all." So shout out to all the geezers because this cast is so wholesome. There's no villains. There's no drama. It's just love. It's always been love, and it was always Charles L.
Yeah, I mean, this might be a hot take, and I know but I think it's valid. I think this is the best cast I've witnessed of reality television in terms of just the
Yep.
quality and wholesomeness. Maybe it's because they're old. If there's these great dudes and they were like young, but I think it just hits different that this is the golden era and the golden cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, even better than I loved Gary's cast. Right, they were great gals, but we're witnessing a next level of bromance with this cast.
Yep, it's incredible, and shout out to all of them. Before we get into quotes real quick, I do want to mention we will be having a Love is Blind episode coming out, a little secret episode, not a secret because I'm telling you now, on I believe Friday we'll have it out. We're going to record this tomorrow, the day you're watching this. It'll be out on our channel on Friday, recapping the first 9 episodes, which I don't know. This is my first experience.
Boom.
This is my first experience with Love is Blind. I am gunning my way through this, Mike, because I didn't know there were 9 episodes, 9-hour-long episodes I have to get through by the time we record tomorrow. I'm halfway through. And this is eye-opening for me because I've never seen one of these seasons before. I have a lot of questions, which I will ask at the beginning of that episode. So just everyone, that's a little sneak peek. Stay tuned for that. That will be out on Friday. But I'm having fun watching the show.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
That's gonna be a fun one.
All right, let's do some quotes. I got 2 quotes from Pascal and then 1 Joan action, actually. So
I've got you go first.
Okay.
I don't have any Pascal.
First Pascal one. It's not a quote. 'Cause it is a quote, but he didn't actually say it. He said, "Let's rock and roll," but the way he said it with his little accent, it sounded so clearly like he said, "Let's fucking go."
Abs to show, so let's rock and roll.
And I literally, I had a double take. I was typing on my computer and I heard Pascal go, "Let's fucking go." And I was like, I think we had the first ever Bachelor Nation F-bomb on air. Cause I'm going to put that clip in here. They actually said they didn't bleep it out or anything, but it sounded like, "Let's fucking go."
That's some like Tom Brady. That's some Tom Brady right there.
It blew my mind. I think it's first ever. So I think we might have made history.
I must have missed that.
I'll put the clip in. You're gonna be like, wait a second.
Sometimes when he's talking to get on, Pascal's accent, I'm not hating on it, not shitting on it at all. Obviously, I think it's sick. It's such a cool accent and so genuine. But like, since he's got that accent, like, let's not have him reading date cards.
Disagree.
When he was reading the names, I honestly didn't know who they were saying until they showed the picture. I was like,
he did say Jonathan, very weird.
Yeah, he said a lot of names weird, and I was just like,
but I beg to differ.
Okay.
I want him reading every date card ever. He just adds an extra little Pascal flair to it.
Yeah, we're gonna get enough Pascal flair now. He's got to kind of carry the drama, I guess.
My other Pascal, while we're on him, my other Pascal quote was, "I run and I shoot," as he throws a football.
The football.
That's something that no one has ever done back to back in the history of America. The history of American football. I run it and I shoot as he's throwing the football.
Whoa, man, and I run and I shoot. Whoa.
That was great. There's the cultural disconnect there. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, if that was his first time throwing football, great job, I would say. Same with first time doing laundry. Saw Mark showing him how to do laundry. Great job. Looks like he did it well. I don't know. But yeah. I had one quote from Chock.
Okay.
And it was when he was talking to the producers after he did his little strip show, he said, "'Cause ladies like the tush."
Oh, and I got the booty moves. So I got a nice little booty because ladies like the tush.
Ladies love
the tush. I was like, yeah, Chock. Yeah, get it.
Yeah, they do.
And he was doing his little, he's having the tush around. There was a lot of good quotes when, during that whole group date, but I just love the word tush.
It was great. Yeah, they were just,
and the way he said it with his Peyton Manning voice too. It's like,
oh man,
tush.
I really heard the Peyton Manning come out this time. They had a Peyton Manning commercial.
Yeah, he did. I thought that I looked back up because I was working while I was like watching in commercials, and like I heard, the country music festival he was hosting that or whatever.
CMAs,
and so
yeah.
He started talking, and I was like, "Oh, it's back on," and I was like, "Nope, it's just Peyton.
It's just Peyton.
It's just Peyton."
That was wild. The only other quote I have, it's not a quote, it's something Joan does, and I think I picked up on it more last episode, but I noticed it this episode as well. When she does wants to give a hug to someone, she'll always start with like a shrug thing. So even at the rose ceremony when she's saying goodbye, she'll always go, she'll like, come here. Like she does a little shrug. It's a very like non point, like it doesn't matter, but it's just something I've noticed she does a lot. She does a little shrug and a little hug thing. So a little cute Joanism right there. The only other thing I want to mention is I have a cringe of the week, which is technically a quote. It's Guy saying, I'm like oozing dopamine out of my ears. And then he's like, dopamine surge.
I mean, dopamine surge.
I was like, all right, what are we doing?
I don't think I remember that at all. When that
During the one-on-one date.
Oh.
He's like, dopamine surge. I was like, all right, Guy, calm down.
Okay, that's kind of sick.
No, it's not. Stop. No, don't. It's because I'm doing it now, and you think like, oh, Wyatt, cool guy doing it. But when Guy did it, wasn't cool.
Yeah, Guy is kind of like not awkward, but like his I don't know, the way he talks is kind of awkward to me.
You know how he talks? He talks like Joe Biden 8 years ago.
And I thought we had a really good marriage, for about 30 years. But when we would talk, I think that we didn't have open, honest communication. Sometimes I felt like, we spent 30 years trying not to hurt each other's feelings.
I was going to say, he's doing a little bit better than Joe right now. But 8 years ago, that kind of makes sense. I don't really...
Listen for it. Just listen for it next time. I caught it a little bit, and maybe it's a little bit of a stretch. But if you close your eyes, I was like, Mr. President, what are we doing here? Welcome back. Welcome back, Mr. President. That was something I noticed from Guy, but I can't get a good read on him. I really can't. And we can talk about more once we get to his one-on-one date, but yeah, interesting. All right, into the episode. Bear It All date, the strip date, everyone's favorite. There's always some kind of attempted to be humiliating, embarrassing strip type of date most seasons. And we got it with Kaitlyn Bristowe, which we got to have a conversation. What is she
so bad? What?
That's not the conversation I was going to have. We can have that one as well, Mike. I do love Kaitlyn. A lot of people, I think she's divisive within Bachelor Nation. I don't have a problem with her. I think she adds a flair to it. She's always in some kind of drama and chaos still. So I think that's what rubs people the wrong way. But why is she the one that she continually comes back for these seasons? Like there's a lot of people they could have chose. And I don't know if they chose Kaitlyn specifically for this date or she's just accessible and she's like available a lot, but she keeps coming back.
I mean, mine's well. She's hot.
I don't blame her for it.
Yeah, and she also has good facial expressions. I've noticed. And she says she doesn't have any filter when she's talking to the producers, and so they can use a lot of what she says probably. So I'm sure it's just easy. And obviously she's got the history, so like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We had an all-time. I'll do a verbal meme for those listening to the podcast, but when Gary ripped his shirt off, the cut to Kaitlyn. And her shock face, all-time meme.
Just ripped my shirt off.
I'm gonna be memeing that. I'll clip it. That's a new meme format just dropped.
Babe, wake up! New meme template just dropped.
But I'm gonna do a little BachMakers slideshow. I'll be like, with a bunch of different captions for that one. So if you have some ideas, Mike, shoot me a text tonight. I will be making that. All right, let's get into the date. I want to first shout out to Dan because Dan is the one who hates talent shows, right? And then he was just very...
No.
Was that not
Dan? It was Michael.
Oh.
It was my other guy that already got eliminated.
All right, never mind. My point...
And they already did a talent show date. So
I know, but I
thought... so confused.
I thought Dan was the one who... But never mind. All right, what'd you point out? What stood out to you from this date? I just screwed it up right there.
I mean, obviously, like... they did their thing. I'm proud of them. One thing I did write down, I noticed a lot of the audience was like younger girls, like younger to like our age. I would say
Yeah,
our age to
yeah.
maybe a little bit older than us. And I was wondering, like, did ABC just like tell them it was going to be like a bachelor thing and maybe didn't specify the golden part of it? That's what I want to know. Probably not. They probably knew what they were getting into with a bunch of old dudes stripping. But if they did think this was for like Jen's men, that would be pretty fucked up.
Yeah, well,
Pretty fucked.
yeah, there were signs that were Golden Bachelor specific, but ABC probably made those. There's
Yeah.
no way
Oh,
these
yeah.
girls, there's no way these young women were
Yep.
making their own Golden Zaddy signs.
Yep.
Like that would have been a
That's
little
another
weird.
thing. That's another thing I wanted to point out. Like the signs, all like it kind of looked like in a video game when they're painting the crowd and it's like the same 8 signs.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the vibe gave me of those signs in the audience.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. It was just some like NPC created signs. It was stupid.
Pascal, if you go back and watch, which again, I'm doing a lot of just making fun in hindsight here, but he started 5 seconds late. Everyone was doing the dance, and Pascal was standing straight, like so. He don't think he got the music cue. I don't think he knew what he was doing. He was so behind. He was lagging the whole time.
Let's have some fun. This beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick.
Yeah, and Chock was actually like looking over to the people to his left of what to do like the whole time. Like he wasn't even trying to like do like a casual look over. When you have your choreographed dances growing up in school, you kind of have to learn it, and the people that know it, we're always in like the front middle, and everybody loves looking at them. Like nobody really knew it though. So
Yeah, and then
but
Keith, a little too eager to be a Chippendale dancer. He was like, "This has been my childhood dream ever since I was a little lad. I wanted to be up on stage stripping," and then he just kept saying it, and then he kept doing it.
Yeah, he did it again for Joan when they were just talking later, and I was like, "All right, man. Like I know you really liked this date and really, wanted it. I'm surprised they didn't do like a winner. Like for Jen, Jonathan won like the." I don't know, stripper contest, right? You got the crown and everything.
Yeah.
They didn't do that for
I would argue this Jonathan would have won.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I think him or Keith probably.
Yeah. Only other thing from that date is so they end up talking afterwards, which shout out, they did the raised money for Stand Up to Cancer, which is great. Love to see that. Another wholesome moment when all of them were very uneasy, like, I don't really want to do this. And then as soon as they heard it, like, hey, this is for a good cause, they're like, I'm game. Let's have fun. Time to strip.
They're like, yes, for sure. Yeah, no, that was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Because I can't even some of them, the look on their faces and they found out they were stripping was awful. But even Charles was like, yeah, like, let's go.
He was
excited about it. He was like, oh man, it was so great seeing him one last time.
I'll have to update Thirst Trap.
I'm glad they didn't like over show Charles this episode, knowing that like this was his last episode.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him out. They didn't like push him too hard, knowing that obviously all of America loves him. So.
Yeah. So Chock ends up talking to we a lot to Chock to get to right now. We gotta talk Chock. So
we gotta chalk it up.
Yeah, let's just chalk it up. So Chock ends up getting this group date rose. He talks with Joan. He had a great line, which I'm gonna steal at some point, where he goes, "Let's talk about us. You go first." For some reason, that was just a great moment where it is like, all right, hey, let's talk. So basically, let's talk about me. Yeah. That's the nicest possible way to say, hey, tell me about me. What do you like about me? Let's talk about us. You go first.
Yeah, no, that was Riz. It kind of gave me like, it kind of gave me like Sam M, when he kind of like thought he was the Bachelor for a couple weeks. He was
still probably thinks he's the Bachelor.
Kind of about me. Yeah. Not to that extent. I don't think Chock meant it that way, but it was kind of like, I'm going to be the star of the show right now. What do you like about me? you know, even though like everybody's, obviously fighting for Joan.
And then we do basically after that date, the next day, the next morning is more Chock, more stuff to talk about, which again, I put this on my Instagram story. Respectfully, fuck this show because some of the heartbreak and the sorrowful moments they put us through, it's uncalled for and unpredicted, obviously, but we had to go through obviously Chock. His mom passes away while he's at the show, which are the worst possible place to be for your mom
Yeah.
to pass away. He handled it
Yeah.
great. I did
Yeah.
notice when he was talking to Joan, first of all, they need to burn that bench that they're on. It's the same bench that Joan left the show on talking to Gary. Just get rid of that
Yeah.
bench. We don't need that anymore. It's just
Yeah.
only bad things happen on that bench, but obviously super unfortunate, terrible thing to hear. They did a great, a little in memoriam at the end of the episode too, if you stayed till the end, which was cool. Chock leaves. How early did you know he was going to come back? Or
I
did you?
mean, I kind of had a feeling just because it wasn't more dramatic,
Mhm.
right? And they were hyping it up so much. Like the preview for this episode was all about like Chalk getting in that car and everything like that. And I was like, no way Chalk self-eliminates.
Mm.
Like there's no way that happens. I did maybe think he wasn't going to come back this episode.
Yep.
And maybe like next episode, he was just going to pop out and be like, I'm back. Did you miss me?
It's basically what he did.
Sorry. Yeah, I know, but he did that like the rose ceremony, which I don't know the timeline of everything, but like that's gotta be like 2 days after. I don't know, but like 2-3 days, maybe 4 max.
Yeah, I would say three
Maybe
or four.
5.
3 or 4 would be my guess.
5 max. Okay, yeah, so 3-4 days. I'm like, that's which I'm assuming he also maybe went to the rose ceremony, and then if there was like maybe a funeral service he had to do, he probably would just fly back and then keep flying in between, which I'm sure production obviously would allow that.
Well,
if he wants to.
We need to have a conversation about production because obviously this is a different circumstance, but they are way more likely and willing to break the rules for the Golden franchise than they are for Bachelorette. All the geezers have their phones. They're calling their kids 24/7.
Yeah.
They're making phone calls. They are very lax with these guys, which rightfully so, I guess. But I think it's only fair if you do the same for the normal franchise.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Old people like have more responsibilities, have more like they have actual like kids and like real if you give the the regular guys their phones,
It'll just be on Snapchat.
You're just scrolling TikTok. You just like they just pan over and some guys just by the pool just scrolling.
Watching us, watching
day.
BachMakers.
Just,
dude, these guys are hilarious.
How can we make this about us?
Yeah, I get it. They should definitely have their phones, but it is funny. They're way more accommodating, and they're not pitting these guys against each other. They know better. The producers are very much cast friendly here. Also, Joan took a shot at the past Bachelorettes when she said, I never thought I could see myself or see a future with more than one person. That's a young person thing, which was funny. That was a little dig. A little Clayton's rolling around in his grave right now. He's very much alive, by the way.
Yeah.
That was
I didn't take that as a dig, but
it was a little bit of a dig.
Remember that quote.
Yeah.
But
all right, then so we had 2 one-on-ones with not much to talk about here. Very quick one-on-ones. No dinner portion for the one-on-ones. They've just, I don't know what it is. They changed up the format a little bit. I don't hate it because you get, again, it got us to an hour and a half episode, which I think we both agree was great. Jordan's one-on-one, I put down, it's probably the quickest one-on-one ever. Also, I don't blame him for sucking at ice skating. I have questions about that ice because they were ice skating and then all of a sudden the band comes out from behind the snow wall and then they just are able to stand up, walk, and dance on this ice. That had to be terrible ice. And normally on an ice skating rink, you can't just walk around on your normal shoes. You'd be eating shit left and right. but they were fine to dance and walk around on it, and he struggled to ice skate. I'm calling faulty ice. I don't blame Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, faulty ice. I mean, we're talking about California in May.
Good point.
How is ice even happening there? I'm not no scientist. I'm not no archaeologist. How does science happen? How does
Well,
ice
I mean,
happen there?
there's ice rinks everywhere.
Okay, dude, shut up. Just go with the bit. Oh my god. But yeah. Oh, I did. What about that date? The only thing I wrote down was Jordan lived in Wicker Park. He said that. That's where I live right now.
Let's go.
He's from Chicago, and he was like, when he was like us four in like a 2-bed apartment in Wicker Park, and I was like, yo,
You're like, I'm in a 2-bed
why-
apartment in Wicker Park.
I'm in a 3-bed apartment in Wicker Park. Like, what if he? Yeah, so I was like, let's go. So if he makes the hometowns, which they did show Chicago in the trailer for the rest of the season.
Oh,
They show this guy. They show them at the Riverwalk.
is that foreshadowing?
So
Who does that?
If that
Are there
happened-
any other
if his-
Chicago guys left?
Jack was who? The other one was Michael, or well, I mean, it was they showed Joan and Jordan at the Riverwalk.
Oh, they
so,
did?
I mean, yeah, like they were kissing at the Riverwalk,
Oh.
and there was the Chicago River.
Did we just
Sky
spoil?
Clippers over. They did.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jordan's
yeah.
hometowns. Sorry.
Yeah, Jordan,
Sorry for those
Jordan
who just
had that.
listened. I got spoiled as well. Thanks, Mike.
Well,
Reality
I
Mike.
also got spoiled by my hinge date, who
Shut up.
my well, I told you this. I literally sent you a
Oh,
screenshot.
wait, you're right,
and
you're
all
right.
you did was make fun of what I said.
Yeah, sorry.
So my hinge date's roommate's mom went on 2 dates with Jordan.
Wait, recently?
I don't know.
So I didn't see that as a spoiler. I'm like, he probably dated.
Oh no, and then she said oh, we know Jordan. And I was like, oh, what's the tea? After she said,
Oh, why would you ask
when-
that? That's on you. Don't tell me what she said.
and she said he makes hometowns
Okay, well, there we go. Sorry, big
because
spoiler
her
warning.
mom's
Reality Mike.
spoiler. Okay, it's
Reality
there's 8
Mike.
people left, and hometowns is 4 people. You don't have to do a lot of math to realize that he's got a 50-50 shot. So
All right. Anyways.
cry, womp womp.
All right. What else? The other one-on-one date was with Guy. They just cooked, and that's that. That's all, folks. Like that was again these one-on-one dates. Not a lot of substance at this point. I think this was the episode where let's trim the fat. Basically, let's get down to who's really here, who's in contention here, and then let's go from there. So it felt like these were just going through the motions, one-on-one dates, which is fine, I guess.
Yeah, no, I actually do kind of like the cooking date, which also I want to say that was in Joan's home. Joan, pretty rich.
Wait, that was actually Joan's home?
That's what she said. I swear to God, she said that right when they were like starting the date. She was like, we're here at my home, and I was like, Joan,
Whoa.
I was like, Joan, what's
Wait,
up?
'cause
Like,
was that the same place when she was walking on clouds? You saw that shot where she's contemplating about Chock and she's walking by the pool and then she's above the clouds. It was the craziest shot I've ever seen. That wasn't the same place.
No, I don't think that's the same place. I think that's where the fantasy suites is going to be, or that's my guess.
It was one of the more insane locations I've ever seen. It was like by the pool with like the glass walls so she could swim to the edge and look out. And it's just clouds. She was above the clouds. I was like, are fantasy suites in heaven? Like, what are we doing here?
The location for fantasy suites did seem sick. It was like little huts, right? You know, they had like the little huts, you know, on the water. And it was like rainy too. I was like, damn, they're like, this is like Star Wars type shit. I don't know. Give me Star Wars vibes.
Let's talk a little bit about Mark here. So Mark, one thing I noticed when he's talking to Jen, he whispers a lot. He's a big whisper guy. He's like very quiet. It's like, I don't know. He's very soft spoken, which I like. He did call Joey and Kelsey. We got a cameo via voice from Joey and Kelsey.
I think that was AI. That was AI. You can't trust anything out of this.
Yeah, it could have been AI, not for sure. But Joey and Kelsey, I worry that when they asked, have you gotten a one-on-one date yet? And he said, no. And then they were probably
like-
Joey, knowing being in that situation before, was like, your dad's toast. Like, I'm definitely giving a one-on-one to my winner earlier than this.
When was Kelsey's first one-on-one? I don't think it was that early. I don't think it was that early. I don't think it was that early. I feel like it was like because she was kind of a late bloomer. Like she was kind of like a late.
During
like,
a one-on-one date
early.
throughout the season, full relationship. They filmed it. So it's like a full timeline of their relationship. At some point in the following days, first meeting, got her first group date. She had a group date rose, the talent show.
Which is probably like one of the first dates.
They went on a one-on-one group date on the 8th. Wait, now I'm so confused. I'm just going. Now I'm giving Reality Steve clicks here. I don't like
You're
that.
paying his bills. Wyatt.
Oh,
Stop.
I'm looking away. Don't count it. Don't count it, YouTube. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But yeah, you're right. I think it was later. So maybe I'm jumping the gun here.
But yeah, no. He's still getting a lot of screen time though. So are they setting him up to be the next Golden Bachelor? I mean, I think he's the front runner for it right now if he doesn't win, right?
I think
He's still a front runner.
I think
Charles,
Chock. I think Chock's a front runner if he doesn't win. Like, I'm going through the cast right now. Those currently on there, I think Chock and Mark are the top two. I don't see Guy. Guy doesn't have much of a personality. No offense, Guy. Sorry, I'm sure you're great, but like, he doesn't give me Bachelor personality.
Yeah, Pascal's too out there.
Too much. He's too Maria.
He is.
And he doesn't quite have the. Obviously, he's 60.
The appeal.
Yeah, like people were champion for Maria to be the Bachelorette. People aren't doing that for Pascal. They love him the same, and he has the same type of energy, but I don't think people are campaigning for him because people are campaigning for Charles L. Maybe just us, but it's got to be Charles L. I want it to be so bad. And
I think he's definitely top 3 in the running right now.
He had that moment. What did I say last week? They're going to set it up as I wasn't ready when I showed up to the mansion. And then Joan got me to a place where I'm ready. And now he's ready.
So,
and then
he's got. There's a path.
There's a path. And think of the tagline. So what did he always say to Joan? Where he was like, this is not up to Charles. This is Joan. This is up to Joan. I'm not in charge. He said, Charles not in charge. Now the tagline for the next season of The Golden Bachelor is Charles is in charge. Charles is in charge. Book it. I can put it on t-shirts, put it in the header, make it happen, ABC. I think there's a path. There's a path.
And you know who the first person was to come give Charles a hug? It was Mark. There's a path for double Golden Bachelor. I'm here for it. They would totally have different types. For sure. Right? I think Mark would probably go with the taller ones. Charles would probably go with the shorter ones, maybe the more quieter ones. Mark, maybe, I don't think they would beef too much if Mark was like, hey, I kind of like her, I think Charles would be
I'm tearing up just thinking about this. I need this.
The bromance. Let's do it. Double Golden Bachelor. Let's start the petition for Mark, Charles L, double Golden Bachelor. I think that would do tremendous numbers.
And I honestly, can I say this? I think you do it differently than they handled Gabby and Rachel. Gabby and Rachel.
Obviously.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, you got to do it different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was dumb. That was a dumb statement. But I think how you format it is you either. I think you give separate crop of women, of golden gals for each of them. You could even film one season first, like say Mark goes first and then Mark helps Charles L, or Charles L goes first, or like they film the seasons back to back, something like that. I think there's better ways to do it. I haven't really thought about this, but if we do go down this road and we start campaigning for this, I'm flexible, but we need it. It'd be great. All right. Last thing I want to talk about. Man, Keith is fumbling so hard.
Wrote that down. He's choking,
It is
but he's still
so-
here.
Barely.
here.
I thought he was going to go home. I really did. I thought Dana was going to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine either way because I was like, I have them both, but
Yeah.
now I only have 3 out of 8, which is a little bit better than the ratio.
I
had
lost 3
coming
today.
in.
I'm down to 4.
Yeah, you lost 3. So, but I think Keith's gonna have a good week next week. I mean, in the preview, clearly looked like he's getting a one-on-one.
He has to.
Clearly
He
looks
has to get a
If
one.
he doesn't get a one-on-one, then next week he's obviously going on.
Yes.
But who else hasn't gotten a one-on-one? So Keith, Mark's
one-on-one probably coming.
And
I think that's it.
Those are the only 2.
Because Guy got one, Jonathan's had one, Jordan's had one, Pascal's had one.
Yeah. And Chock, obviously.
Yep. So I would guess Mark and Keith get it next week. So we'll keep an eye on that. And you want to do final rows, or we do a hot seat real quick? Who do you think's going home next week?
Hot seats. It's got to be Keith.
Yeah.
It's got to be Keith.
If it's not,
honestly, I'm gonna say Keith and Mark. I think they're both on the hot seat. Only 2 without a one-on-one. And at this point, the one-on-ones are, if they didn't have the best time on the one-on-one, she's not gonna give them the rose, and it's getting one of those awkward one-on-ones. So
I wanted to say before I saw the preview that Pascal might be on the hot seat, just because they had that conversation, like, hey, like I don't know if you're showing effort here, but there's a weird moment there with Pascal. Where he's like, he's like, put the cameras away. She's not well. I'm not well. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. That was a weird situation. I love seeing Pascal fired up, though. He was fired up.
We kind of need the firiness of Pascal these next couple weeks, because without Gary, without Charles, We're going to need some. We're going to need something.
Well, we have something to look forward to. We always say Hometowns is the most boring episode, except for the Golden franchise. It gets interesting again. It gets very fun when you're going to meet their kids rather than you go to Hometowns and meet the parents and have the same conversation 4 times. Now it's a little different. We get to see the kids, and I think that's way more fun.
Just wait till you get to meeting the parents in Love's Blind.
Oh, I can't wait. I'll be binge watching that after I edit this episode. Let's finish up with final roses and then get out of here. Do you have one? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. My final rose is going to a dear friend of the program, someone who means a lot to us, means a lot to this show. And apparently we mean a lot to them as well, because we have recently, not to toot our own horn, but I think made her a decent amount of money. I'm giving my final rose to Daisy Kent. Shout out to Daisy. We love you. Go chase that bag. Keep doing your little Daisy sour cream ads. And first of all, you're welcome.
It's all about Daisy.
Second of all, hope you're well. Third of all, thank you for your support. Fourth of all, tell Thor if he messes up, we'll kick his ass verbally over the internet, not in person.
We'll lay down the hammer. Pun.
Nice. That's what we'll do. We'll lay down the hammer. And I don't know what number I was at. 5. Fifth of all, happy Thursday. There, that's my final rose. Shout out to Daisy.
And she did help, I think, Kelsey T get that commercial for Daisy.
Yes.
Kelsey T was on a commercial for Daisy, and I was like, there's no way that Daisy Kent didn't have like the hookup there, right? Like Daisy definitely helped her get that commercial. Or, it was kind of just maybe they asked Daisy to be in it, and she was like, no, how about my actor friend Kelsey? That's what I'm assuming it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, that was really cool. My final rose is going to be everybody that has followed our new Instagram.
Let's go. Shout out.
So for all the followers today, of the 40 something new followers, thank you.
The OGs, the real ones.
And the people that are just following the good time, why don't you follow BachMakers too?
Why not? Yeah, we just launched the new BachMakers Instagram page. Probably a long time coming. But make sure to follow. It's just at BachMakers on Instagram. Give us a follow. We'll post almost all of our stuff there, all the clips, everything. that everything that's specific to BachMakers will go on that page. But make sure you're following Good Time as well and see other shows. Speaking of other shows, I'm a book guy now. Shout out to me. I read books. No big deal.
I've already read that book. It's actually on my thing.
You've read this?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Let me get it.
Don't spoil it. I'm excited. Yeah, so this is just an ad for the other show I have, The Read Option, which comes out every Tuesday, where I teach my co-host Jenna about football, and she teaches me how to read, basically. So I want to become a reader. I want to read books. It forces me to. We are reading this week, People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Go, Mike. Come on. And your audio just broke. I hope everyone sees how stupid Mike looks right now. Can you hear me? Nothing. Didn't say anything. I'm excited to read it. Don't spoil shit. Don't spoil anything. Anyways, that's enough. Talk about The Read Option. Go watch that show as well on the Good Time YouTube channel. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in a few days for our Love is Blind recap. I'm very excited about that. So tune into that. If you've watched this far, you better like the video. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.